So moving on to the next concept, that is concept of holes. Okay. So you all have heard about this word in semiconduction previously also. I don't know. I'm not really sure whether you have heard about it or not. So in this topic, in this chapter, you'll be dealing completely with the creation of semiconductor. So that's why you will need to know what is the meaning of hole, how it is created. So to understand that, we'll go in depth. Okay, so completely in depth to understand it. So listen carefully and do not lose your concentration here and there. I'll try my best to explain it, because I'm really nervous in front of a camera. I'm not able to give my best teaching. So if in case it was a student sitting in front of us, it would be much easier for me rather than doing it in front of a camera. Not really sure whether I'm conveying the things what I want to tell properly or not. So a little difficult is going on. So I request you all to adjust with this, and please send a voice note in case you all have any silly doubts you have. Okay, I will definitely clear those doubts. So please go ahead and ask doubts. I'm not getting much doubts from it. So I want to know whether you are understanding it or just making the notes for the sake of doing it. So don't do that, please. Okay. So I'm trying my best. So it is a lot of difficulty coming in between here and there, and it's my own personal problem. So but it doesn't matter. So I want you all to do your best when I'm giving whatever is possible. Okay. So moving on without wasting any time. Here, to understand what is the creation of hole, which means a hole is nothing but I'll just tell it, it's nothing but a empty space or a vacant space. Empty space. Okay, in the empty space, how is it created is what I'm going to explain to you in the next topic, in this topic. So here what happens is, previously I just did this much of it. So now what I've done is I've added few more silicon atoms and undergoes bonding, and it looks something like this. I just wanted to do a closed complete diagram, so that's why I've done it. So there is nothing like silicon will look just like this. No, it can undergo still more bonding and still combine together based on whatever its weight or mass or whatever it is. Okay, so this is my idea of having a creation of holes. So what happens actually here is silicon is completely bonded with, all of these four valencies are completely occupied and already in covalent bonding with each other, that is with another silicon atom, and it is completely stable. It is stable at 0 degree Kelvin. Okay, 0 Kelvin or 0 degree Kelvin, however you all call it. So it is stable at that, which means there are no particular sharing happening or no particular reaction happening within this particular silicon when it is at exactly 0 degree Kelvin. 0 Kelvin. So here, what can be done? And that means also I can tell one more thing is that silicon is a complete insulator. I am sure you all know what is an insulator. Okay, insulator. It is complete insulator, which means it will not conduct any kind of electricity at that particular temperature, that is 0 Kelvin. But this same temperature, what if I increase it? Okay, why am I talking about temperature? What it has to do with the temperature? Yeah, I'm sure you are having that question in your mind now. Anything if it has to excite it to a higher level, obviously it needs some kind of an external energy, correct or not? Yes, yeah. Suppose you need to run more faster, you need extra energy. That in same way the electrons behaves the same thing. If at all these electrons need to jump into the higher levels, they need an extra energy, external energy source. So that energy source right now is going to be the temperature. So what happens at 0 degree Kelvin? I told you all 0 Kelvin, it is completely insulated and completely stable, no particular sharing is happening. But silicon is not always kept at 0 Kelvin. Any particular thing is not kept at 0 Kelvin. So 0 Kelvin means what? Yeah, correct? No, it's the lowest temperature possible. Whereas in the now particular thing over here, the temperature here will be much more than that of 0 Kelvin. Correct? Yes, it is. 0 Kelvin means it is going to be some 36 degrees Celsius, which will be 273 plus so much Kelvin. So which is much better than 293, around 293 Kelvin in the normal temperature. Okay, 293 or 286 or whatever it is. So that much temperature is the room temperature, which is much more than that of the 0 Kelvin. Correct? So what happens at that particular temperature? This is the room temperature. So this is my assumption that 293 Kelvin or 33 degrees Celsius is going to be the room temperature. At this temperature, any one electron or more than one electrons, any one electron. For right now, let me assume one electron in one particular place. One of these electrons over here, this electron will gain energy from the temperature, from the heat of both. Okay, from the heat of the room temperature. This electron will gain energy, and once it gains energy, what will happen is that energy will be converted into a different form, that is maybe in the form of a thermal oscillation. So thermal oscillation means as soon as you all have seen, when the water gets heated, boiling water, you can see the lid shakes. It's a common thing which you every time you see it, and you hear sounds as well, and you can feel something is vibrating when it is too much heat. Correct? That particular thing is called as thermal oscillation, and that thing, same thing happens with the electron as well. When these the heat is supplied because of the room temperature itself, I'm not supplying extra heat. Okay, right now I'm just talking about room temperature. When the silicon is kept in the room temperature itself, this electron will get excited. That means it will gain the heat energy and it will start oscillating. That means it will start breaking, that will start getting energy and start oscillating continuously. Because of that oscillation, it will skip outside. This will be a free electron. This thing will be a free electron. Now how that happens is free from bonding. This will be free from bonding, and the bond will be broken. Okay? And this bond will be broken. So wherever the electrons is getting energy, gaining energy, and undergoes thermal oscillation and jumps off free from the covalent bonding, obviously the bond will be broken, and this broken bond will create an empty space. Electron is jumped off, it means it's already running all around, and it creates an empty space in that previous bonding which was already there after the breaking of bonding. This empty space created is called as a hole. Okay? The empty vacant space created by the electron is called as a hole, and that's how the hole is formed. So now, why we are learning about this hole formation? What is it? Okay, we learned now. Then what? What next? So this is the main topic. What I want you all to understand, that is, once the hole is formed, there is random one person who is running all around. That is that stupid electron, which was automatically gained its energy. Nobody told him to do it so, but he gained it. He gained energy and he wants to run around freely. And also, you all have studied in the lower class what happens when these electrons are running freely all around. So what happens? Electricity. There is conduction of electricity. There is electricity or current or whatever it is. You have to remember it as electricity. Okay, electricity spelling is in whatever. So I hope you understood what I'm trying to tell you. So this very electron is running all around, which means the conduction of electricity is possible. It does not behave like an insulator anymore. It is not behaving like an insulator anymore at room temperature. At 0 degree Kelvin or 0 degree Kelvin, it was completely stable and no free electrons are present. But as soon as it was brought into the room temperature, one stupid electron thought, okay, I'm the strongest and I will jump off this particular bonding. Hence, it broke the covalent bonding, and then it is running all around freely. So because of that free electrons which is running all around freely, there is a conduction of electricity. That means electricity can be conducted. That means the electrons flowing is nothing but the movement of charges and current. Right? Then this electron free is creating a vacant space, and that vacant space is called as hole. Okay, so now what is this hole? This is a vacant space created by the electron when it is gaining when gains energy and jumps off and breaks the covalent bond. That or I can also tell it simple word saying that a vacant space created by an electron after the breaking of covalent bond is nothing but hole. And also it is just an empty space, okay, but also it behaves like a positive charge. It behaves like a positive charge. It doesn't mean that it has a mass or whatever it is. It is just a empty space. But the charge left by that electron over here, since negative is taken out, negative is ran away, it becomes a positive empty space. Positive empty space. So this positive empty space created by the breaking of covalent bond is nothing but holes. Okay? It is not a real substance, or it is not a real atom, or it's not an electron, it is not a proton. So many people have a confusion, is that a proton? No, it is not a proton. It is not a proton which is created by the electron. Proton is something completely different, it has a mass. Whereas this is just an empty space, empty vacant space which is created by the jumping of electrons, and that is why it has a positive charge. It acts like a positive charge, but it is not a physical quantity. Okay, so just understand what is this hole clearly, and I'll go through this video once again. Let me know if you have any doubts. Okay, moving on to the next topic. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the important topic here. So there's few more things to tell about it. One is you noted, you heard that when the room it was brought to room temperature, this silicon electron got excited. I mean, 1 or 2 electron got excited. What if I increase the temperature even more further? What if I increase the room temperature? I mean, I heat the silicon atom. I heat it up. Maybe 300 or even more. Something like 350 Kelvin. Okay. I heat it up even more. It's not degrees Celsius. Okay. Don't think I'm boiling it up to 300 degrees Celsius. It is 350 Kelvin, probably around like 60 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Celsius, roughly. Okay. So that much I'm heating it up. So what happens at that time is more electrons are getting excited. More stupid people are running all around because the temperature is increased more. And this electrons, all of these people, all of these electrons, not people, sorry, all of these negative charges moving all around will create more conduction of electricity. Yes or no? More electrons flowing all around is simply nothing but more current, more electricity is flowing all around it. Correct? So it is easy for a silicon or a semiconductor at a higher degree, higher temperature to conduct electricity much easier because there are a lot of free electrons flowing inside. Yes. So same thing over here. Electron and the hole. Electron, number of electrons increases. What happens to the number of holes? Here, number of vacant spaces also increases because electrons keeps on jumping from one place to another place. Holes also keeps on creating every now and then, every space. So that's why I can tell that electron and holes are generated in pairs. Always remember this point. This particular sentence, I don't know whether you all heard it or I'm sure you all have heard it from your teachers or anybody. This particular sentence is, you need to know the meaning of this. Electrons and the holes are always created in pairs. Though electron is a physical quantity, hole is not a physical quantity, it is just an empty space, but it is created in pairs. Okay, so creation of hole, they can explain the creation of holes and give a reason why electrons and holes are created in pairs. You have your answer in this particular explanation. Okay, so that thing, and also if I increase the temperature more and more, the conducting capacity of a particular semiconductor increases. Clear? So which means at a higher temperature, a given silicon can conduct more electricity than that of a lower temperature silicon. Okay? So as the temperature increases, the conductivity of that particular semiconductor also increases. Yes? So these are the 2 points which I had missed in the previous thing. So go on with that. Okay? Continue in the next one.